Hi, I'm Angel Tuccy, and I'm going to share with you how you can turn your existing book or a book you already have in mind into your most valuable marketing asset. Let's get going here today. So, one of the incredible things about being an author is all the incredible doors that it opens for you for visibility, for searchability, for credibility, but also for attracting incredible clients back into your sales castle, as well as creating royalty revenue and ongoing revenue for you and your business. So if you haven't yet met and you haven't gotten yet into our castle, you can text the word famous to 26786. That'll give you access to our free networking group, as well as when you go to makeyourbigimpact.com, that will get you back here. But let's turn your book into your top marketing asset. You've created this incredible story. You've written it. You've taken the time to already publish it if your book is already published, and maybe it just kind of fell flat. Right? Maybe it didn't, have the book sales. It didn't create the impact you were looking to. Maybe you didn't do a full-fledged marketing campaign, or you just want to re-energize it because you've gotten away from it. Or perhaps there's an idea inside of you and you're thinking, I want to publish a book. I want to be a speaker. I want to get invited to speak on more stages. I know that visibility is the answer to growing my business, and having a book and being the published author and the expert on the book will create that visibility for me. And so the one of the things that you've got to know is that your book really, when it comes to all the different things that we can do to create visibility and marketing, low ticket offers, lead magnets, your book, it really answers the question, right? It kind of brings and checks off all the boxes and brings everything together. But I want you to think about this. Like, it's not just an oversized business card. It is your most valuable marketing asset. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you threw away a business card or stacks of business cards? I mean, how many business cards do you have that you hold on to? But in the reverse of that, how often have you ever thrown away a book? I mean, actually thrown a book into the trash can. You might repurpose it, you might give it away, you might donate it, but they don't end up in the trash can. So it is not just an oversized business card. It is far more valuable, especially in the mind of somebody who holds that business card in their hands. I can't tell you how many times that because somebody has purchased my book years ago, or stories of people having their books like on a bookshelf or unpacking a box and discovering my book, it opens up doors for speaking opportunities and, and for that follow-up conversation. And so if you're thinking about what can I pass out? How can I get my message in front of my target audience? How can I leverage my story to open up more doors? What else can I do with this book? It is unstoppable. It's far more than having a business card. And I think business cards are going more digital now anyways. And so if you put something in somebody's hand, it's tangible, right? They'll flip through it. They want to take their picture with you, especially if you've autographed it or if they've ordered it online and they follow you. It is a great way to get them into your sales castle. Here's a couple of incredible books, right? Jen Perez, when she's in a room and she tells people that she wrote the book 29 or 69 ways money is like sex, they flock to her. Like, she's the most exciting person in the room. They're just intrigued by the title. Her business card isn't going to do that. And even with Tammy Demirza, Superpowers Unleashed, when she starts talking about tapping into your five clair senses, right, and our intuition, her business card isn't going to describe that. It's not going to give them the insight that she is wanting to pour into people. And so it is far more. It is far more than just a business card that somebody's going to hold on to and has your contact information. This is how you connect deeply with your target audience. I mean, imagine if you had a 125-page book and they're reading and they're learning about you and they're learning your stories and they're seeing what it would be like to work with you. Talk about developing that know, like, and trust factor. A business card isn't ever going to do anything like that. And then here at the bottom, we have our newest book, Authorlicity, right? Is how to create ongoing publicity for your book. And this is perfect for authors with a new book or an existing book or a new book getting ready to come out. But a little bit about background about me, Angel Tussey. I am a media and publishing coach. I've published over 15 personal books, and over the last 5 years, we have helped hundreds of authors get their stories out, even republish books that were already existing that they've worked with other previous author or publishers because they didn't have the marketing. So they came to us. Not only do we help you to publish the book and to get that book finally written using our 90-day author program, but we also help you to create that ongoing publicity, how to get that book out into the marketplace and leverage it into your top selling marketing asset. Last year, so these are me and our three kids. My husband and I, we've been married for 32 years. We have three adult children. We moved to Florida from Denver because all three of them at the time worked at Disney. And last year we took our first Disney cruise. 6 months ago, we took our second Disney cruise, and 2 weeks ago, we took our third. So we are hooked on the Disney cruise adventure. But down there at the bottom, that's my husband, Jay. We call him Mr. Eye Candy. 32 years we've been married. And our goal really is just to create an amazing platform and an impact for more people to tell their stories. So if you've ever thought, right, I just need to get my message out in front of more people. I'm doing all the right things, but I just need more people to have heard of me, to discover me, to get into my sales castle. Because I feel like if they knew me, right, and if you see, tell me if you've ever thought this. I feel like if more people knew me and had heard of me, they would do business with me. If I could just get in front of more people. Well, that's what being a published author is, and that's why your book is your most valuable marketing asset. So here's the other thing. Authors are the most requested guests and speakers. I was a radio talk show host for 10 years out of Denver, Colorado. We were the best morning talk show team, best morning talk show. Um, Most influential woman of the year, all from being in broadcasting. But if you look at the 5,000 guests that I interviewed during my 10-year career, what did they all have in common? What was something that got them booked on radio for free, right? When you're a radio host or a guest on a radio show, a television show, you can't sell your products, you can't sell your services. So even if you have the YouTube channel, the podcast show, the digital course, right? The online course or the group coaching program, unless you are the author of the book on it, right? The expert who wrote the book on it, you're not likely going to get that free earned media. But as an author, you've heard of earned media, right? People where you are invited to speak and share your story, get booked on stages. I mean, if you want to get booked on stages every single week, being the author is the way to open up all those doors because they are the most requested guests and the most requested speakers. If somebody's trying to decide between two different guests or speakers, typically who is the author is going to get that prize. In fact, my brother just came to me and they were asking him, where have you been published? Right? And he's like, I've just been working, right? And I'm just, I'm doing my thing. I'm certified. But they want to know, where have you been published? Have you been published in articles? Have you been invited as a guest on podcasts? Do you have the book on it? And so we have a couple of examples here, right? We have in the back, we have Following Up with Grace. This is Tina. She's a CFO, and she's like, how can I create something that's sexy when it comes to, doing your books and keeping track of your finances? And she wrote this incredible story that's based on her grandma's life, and it's actually a fiction story, but an entrepreneur's journey to financial clarity. We have Build Your Own Empire. This is Brooke. She wrote about investing in real estate to build your wealth empire. And then we have Brenda, who she wrote The Ease of Tea. She started a tea company from her kitchen and grew it to a multi-million dollar empire. And so she talks about making a perfect cup of tea. It doesn't matter your topic. It doesn't matter your industry, right? You are somebody's Oprah, right? Somebody is out there is looking for you, your story today. The question is, will they be able to find it online? And so being a guest and being invited to get your message out every single week on somebody else's platform is how you're going to sell more books. Right? Go out and speak every single week. Right? I used to believe I was told there was no money in selling books, right? That was all in the back end. And I used to believe that there was no money in selling books. But truly, there's a lot of money in selling books. And if you start to do the math on this, and if you are a guest every single week on a stage, maybe you do a book signing event, or you're a podcast guest and you sell 25 books and you do that twice a week, over the course of 90 days, you create an extra 5 grand in income, 5, 10, even 15,000. Like start doing the math on this. And this is royalty income. These are not clients you have to serve. They don't get on your calendar. There's no delivery. The income, you've written the book. Now you're just out sharing and speaking about the thing you're most excited about, and people can go and purchase your book, and you can create royalty income month in, month out, just based on visibility and exposure. But we know that the challenge and the reason there's no money in books is because authors aren't speaking. They're not sharing their story. Maybe you did a bestseller campaign, you did a launch where you hit the accolade of bestseller, or you just told some friends and family, but that was it. With Authorlicity, we actually create the platform so that you can go and be a guest every single week speaking about your book. We have some more fun books here, right? This is Connor. Connor was a teenager, wrote his book with me, his first book. He's now written another. Just in less than a year, he wrote his second book. Um, we have Jeannie Mae. She talks about breath being the answer to so many issues when it comes to stress and inflammation and chronic diseases in our lives. We have Heather Rapier, who wrote From Imposter to Influencer. It's incredible, incredible stories about unlocking self-doubt and leading authentically. Gerald McNabb, who is just a whiz when it comes to wealth management and generating wealth through real estate. Ageless wisdom, because life doesn't come with a manual. In his book, We Don't Know What We Don't Know, right? Just fun wisdom, like sitting at grandpa's lap. I just love this one. Or grandpa's feet, listening to him tell stories. And then Albert Corey, he actually has a brand new book that's getting ready to come out. But this one we actually created this book, came up with the idea of this book while sitting poolside at a Vegas pool in between, during a lunch break at a conference we were at. But simple and easy hacks to grow your bank account. So let me ask you, right? What's your book about, right? Right? What do you already have inside of you? Did you think this year, I wanted to publish a book? I want to publish my next book. I've got a new story inside of me. What do you want your story to be? You already know this. And this is the thing when people come to me and they say, Angel, I've always thought about publishing a book. I've always wanted to publish a book. I've been putting off wanting to publish a book, and I just have been waiting for the timing to be perfect. But really, what do you want your story to be? Here's a couple of examples. Becky, she wrote the book Swept Away. This is a tragic story where she lost her two daughters in a flash flood in the Utah canyons. But she sold 750 books in her first 30 days. Plus, she was actually able to work with fire and rescue in Utah to make some changes to how they set off alarms and trigger warnings. And so, talk about creating influence and impact from her story. Uh, Dr. Wendy Labat, she wrote the three-part series, The Financial Cures. She was actually featured in a Dennis Quaid documentary for her Financial Cures series. We have Julio Gonzalez. He published his book, Why Billionaires Love the Tax Code. Best-selling author in like bestseller in 12 hours. He's also been featured on a billboards in Times Square. He runs one of the largest tax benefit companies, helping really high wealth and billionaires leverage the tax code. One of my favorite things, if you ask him what's his favorite book that he reads, he's like, I only read the tax code. But he says if you pay taxes, you're probably paying too much. So, why billionaires love the tax code. And then we have Deb Drummond. She's in Canada. She wrote the book Mission Accepted, 262 women, where she has 262 women she brought together and telling their stories. It was the top selling book, the number three top selling book in Canada, sold 1,500 copies in her first 7 days. You can also see her at the Emmys gifting suite, handing out books to celebrities. And this is what the power of having your book published can do for you. Don't just have the idea of the book, but actually publish the book and start marketing the book and talking about the book every single week. But here's the thing. How lucky are you? Your story already exists, right? It's already inside of you. You don't have to go and research this. This is the frequently asked questions. This is when people say, Hey, I want to pick your brain. This is you sharing your backstory, your onboarding points, attracting people into your funnel, telling those case stories, and all of those stories that we can't tell in a sales call or in a 20-minute presentation, or definitely not on a business card. But your story already exists inside of you. And in our Authorlicity program, this is how we can leverage and get your story published in 90 days and then make sure that you're out every single week marketing and promoting your book. But number one, we're going to use your existing content. It's stuff that you've already, having in existence on your website, frequently asked questions, your blogs, your social media posts, your emails. And copy, paste, and revise what you already have into your first draft. And then instead of writing, if the idea of sitting down and writing 25,000 words seems daunting to you, of course it can be, but we use a voice to text process where you can actually record yourself speaking. We have 10 prompts to get you your voice over 10 minutes a day. Most people speak 250 words a minute. So 10 minutes, it's 2,500 words. In 10 days, it's 25,000 words. And 25,000 words is the content to create a 125-page book. I call it an airplane read, right? A little love letter to your clients. But we remove the overwhelm. We break down the process into guided weekly activities. So if you want to publish your book in 90 days, take the existing content you already have. Maybe it's your course, it's your presentations, right? The things you already want to share with your audience. You're going to do a voice to text, record yourself telling these stories. You'll use AI to edit it, right? We don't use AI to create it. AI can't write your story. Nobody can write your story. Only you can tell your story. But break the process down into weekly manageable chunks so that in 12 weeks you'll have a finished product. But use also, there's some simple tech and AI tools that will help you with AI guidance, formatting, cover design. We use Fathom to record and get the transcript. We use AI to just generate and fix for spelling and error. And we use Canva to design those covers. And so we get it done. We use simple techniques and simple tech to remove the overwhelm, keep it simple, break it down into those weekly steps, and get you published in 90 days. So let me tell you about the Authenticity program where we publish and create your ongoing publicity for your book. So number one, we get your book published. We have the 90-day process where it's simple, breaking it down into 12-week steps, guidance, turning your existing content into 25,000 words of your stories, your onboarding steps, sharing your background, your FAQs, addressing objections, right, and dealing with all those, answers, answering the questions that everybody would have before they would work with you. But you're really leading your reader into your sales flow, and we help you manage that process and create that flow so that you end up with a 100, 125-page love letter to your clients, which will, of course, elevate your marketing, your visibility, your credibility. We do this with live group coaching calls every single week. We give you access to the member portal, the publishing templates where it's copy, paste, and revise. We also set you up on the world's largest online marketplace. And how many times have you ever shopped at Amazon? Anybody shop at Amazon, right? Have you ever shopped at Amazon more than once a week? Anybody more than once a day. The reason we leverage Amazon is because it's where the buyers are. The customer experience is top notch, second to none. And we've been able to manage by triggering the algorithm how to turn Amazon into your retail marketing partner. How many of you would love to have Amazon as your retail marketing partner? For sure, hands down, right? Have them promote you. Other people bought this, bought this. They'll send an email out on behalf. So we trigger the algorithm every single week by getting you booked on podcasts, promoting your books, selling books, and leveraging Amazon as our marketing partner. We'll also help you organize your bestseller campaign, show you how to leverage podcast interviews into book sales to create that ongoing publicity for your book. And here's the other thing. I mean, we want to make sure that you have an impact out into the marketplace, that your book is reaching people you would never normally reach. These are people who might not ever work with you, right? They might not ever be in the same room with you, but your book can reach them through a global podcast tour. So we create ongoing publicity with weekly podcasts, interviews. We give you a full year access where you can write your book or even two, right? You actually have time if you want to. You can take your story from idea to published and you can leverage that entire program for a full year. So if you've got a second book inside of you, you're like, I don't know which one to, should I do this one? Should I do this one? Well, let's do both, right? With Authorlicity, it's a 12-month coaching program that you have guided expertise that you could actually publish two books during that time frame. Or maybe the companion journal or the workbook that goes with it. So I open my calendar every single week to give you coaching, media and publishing coaching, where you're going to learn how to attract readers, stand out online, and build a profitable author platform. How does that sound? Like actually profit from your books. We're also going to turn your manuscript into a bestseller using our 72-hour bestseller blueprint. Which is really not about rigging the system and manipulating the algorithm. It's actually showing you how to sell books, right, at full retail. And here's the lie that I think that we keep telling ourselves. If you've put it off and said, yes, someday I'm going to publish my book, right? I'm waiting for the timing to be right. I'm waiting for my calendar to clear up when I'm not so busy. Even with all these AI tools, I keep waiting for my calendar to not be so busy because it's making life so much simpler for us. But I think the lie is that I'll do it later. When really this is the best time today when you're thinking about it right now. You have the urge. No accident that you're here. No accident that you're thinking about it. They call me the finisher because I take clients who, Tina, Tammy, Tracy, for years they've been thinking about publishing their book. They've been working on it, but at some point they get stuck in the process. There are about 72 micro decisions that have to be made during the process, and at any one of those you can get stuck and you just don't continue. If I can, help you through a handful of those, right? And get you finished, get this book done, finally off your plate. So now we can go out and market and promote it. But Tina was finally able to get the book done, right? She finished her first book. She's now published her second book. Tammy, this one was her third, and this is the first time she ever became a best-selling author, was publishing with us. In just 60 days, she was able to get that book out. And then even with Tracy, this was a book she'd been working on for years. And in a matter of weeks, we were able to get her book published and then put her out on the podcast market tour. And if three isn't enough testimonials, we actually have over 200 screenshots and testimonials of happy, happy people who have worked with us. And so just to recap, right? Authorlicity, 1 year program, publish your book and market it for an entire year, a full year of coaching with us, 12 or 52 weeks where you have access. We open up our calendar, walk you through the entire process, turning your book, sharing your background, creating that 100-page love letter to your clients, setting you up with Amazon as your marketing partner, and really creating that ongoing publicity and revenue for your book. So Authorlicity is a 12-month program. You can break it down into 12 payments of $997. But we do have a pay in full discount. If you pay it in full, it is 997 or sorry, it's 750. So 997 for 12 months, or you can roll today with a single payment of 7,500. Now, when we did this video, right, or this slideshow, this was giving you access for 13 months. And it typically is buy 12, get 13 months free. So 13 months, $13,000 value, or a $997 dollar deposit to start today gets you into the program. So you can do it a single payment of 7,500, or you can do 12 payments for 997, and you get 13 months all included. And so if you've ever thought, right, I want to impact hundreds, I want to impact thousands, hundreds of thousands, this is the time, right, to make your big impact and become a best-selling author this year. I'm Angel Tuccy. I'd love to be your media and publishing coach. I can't wait to see you get you booked on, you get your book published, and get your book out on a podcast interview. So cheers. Thanks so much for hanging out and being with us today. If you have any questions, text the word famous, FAMOUS, to the number 26786, or go to makeyourbigImpact.com and plug in with our team. Cheers.